late hoping to miss the safety talk, you are out of luck. I'm still gonna give it. So just a quick reminder that yes, this is your class. You are in charge of how vigorously you do your exercises today based on how you are feeling. So kind of take note right now of your energy, your breathing, and remember that the more limbs you use, so both arms, both legs, that's using all your limbs, that's going to take the most amount of oxygen. So it's going to tax your breathing the most. The quicker you do things, the more range of motion you do. So if we're lifting up overhead, lifting up all the way is going to need more oxygen. So if you're already a little bit out of energy today, you might want to go a little bit less. Okay. Make sure you have a quick glance at your area. There's no tripping hazards. You're either in sturdy shoes or in bare feet. You're not standing on any slippery rugs. All right. And a big smile because we're going to have fun today. All right, team, let's get warmed up. Remember, it's up to you if you're seated or standing. Just remember, standing takes a lot more balance and takes more oxygen, but it is your choice. And I'm just going to adjust my camera because I see it's a little too high. There, that should be good. Okay, gang, seated or standing is completely up to you, but we're just going to start. I want you to put your thumbs on your shoulder, and we're just going to roll one elbow back at a time. So this is a great way to get some shoulder mobility. There. And as we do a couple, if you can, start to rotate your upper back. So it's not just the shoulder going, I'm actually turning my shoulder slightly. There we go. And as we start to move, let's think about our breathing pattern. Breathing in through our nose, out through pursed lips. And reverse, and I'll pull that elbow forwards. Maintain that breathing pattern as best you can. It's a great way to maximize your oxygen for today. Excellent job, team. All right, and we're gonna open our arms out wide and then bring them across our body. Give yourself a hug. Open and across, open and across. You can alternate which arm is up top. As you crisscross your arms over, that'll make it a bit tougher. Remember, if you're full of energy and spunk today, and you are standing or sitting, you are welcome to just get your feet moving at the same time. Otherwise, just keep it low. We'll slowly ramp it up. All right, gang, hands on your hips. We're stepping a leg up and out, up and back in. Switch legs, up and step, up and back in, up and step, up and back in. So remember, the higher up you lift that leg to step, the more strength and oxygen you need to do that. So if you're feeling really fatigued today, you're welcome to just slide it out and back, slide it out and back. Think about trying to tighten up at your belly. That's your core. And a strong core is important for helping you move and for supporting your breathing. There we go, gang. All right, we're getting our leg out wide and back in, out wide, back in. Again, if you're feeling particularly fatigued today, slide that leg out and in, slide it out and in, or step. Maintain that breathing pattern. And remember, the speed you go with all these exercises is up to you. We shouldn't be going too fast yet because we're just ramping up, getting warmed up. There we go, gang. That's why I prefer to do timed exercises rather than giving you a number, which I still will do sometimes. But that's so that now there's just a time. You do as few or as many as you can do within that time.
So how many minutes is this one for?
At least 6.5.
You're good. You're really good.
All right. Hands on your belly. We're opening up those arms and back. Keep those elbows tucked in. That was
Remember,
pretty
Joe,
quick.
we were talking about designated counters for this.
Yes.
And I just
Oh.
threw that out the window, didn't I?
Yeah, well, you know, we want to be counterproductive, so who have you chosen?
Yeah. And straighten one leg at a time as you move your arms.
No, not into that. Huh? Okay.
Again, if you are, if this is using up too much oxygen for you today, you can get just your legs moving or just your arms. Because the more limbs you move, the more oxygen you need. There we go. All right, gang. And rest. All right. If you can, get your feet stepping. You can either lift up one leg at a time, or you can just lift up one heel at a time, depending on what you need, standing or sitting. All right, take your hands. We're going to clap, but don't clap too loudly. We're golf clapping here. But we're going to clap 1, 2, up. Then to our other side, 1, 2, up. To the other side, 1, 2, up. Down to the other side, 1, 2, up. Down to the other side, 1, 2, up. Down to the other side, 1, 2, up. So try to get into that pattern, gang. There we go. Little bit of coordination. It's only going to get harder from here.
Yes.
Start getting excited. There we go. Now, if you can, start trying to go just a little bit faster with those hands. There it's 2 claps. 1, 2, up, down, 1, 2, up, down, 1, 2, up, down.
Getting tired.
Almost there. And rest. Nice. Okay, now just pull your knees together and apart. Knees together, apart. So we'll get those legs working. Focus on your breathing pattern. If you need to stop for a few seconds, catch your breath. That's a great idea. We're going to take our hands. So again, we're going to move from one side to the other. But here's the pattern. 1 clap, 2 claps, 3 claps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
This coordination is not so easy.
No, it's not. But boy, is it good for you and fun for me. So it's a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If your legs are getting tired, feel free just to move your arms. So 1, 2, 3.
It's really hard to count when you're concentrating on this,
On your legs?
on your hands.
I know. That's
I
the
gave
point.
up my legs.
So now, well, now your brain has to focus on 2 tasks, right? It's focused on moving your hands, and now you're counting.
And also breathing, remember, you're trying to focus.
And you're breathing.
Where do you hunt these things up anyway?
And rest.
Ah,
Boy, do I have interesting dreams, Clancy.
Yeah, pretty wild.
You can tell.
It's hours of uninterrupted creative thinking time. Perfect.
But I can tell you've gotten in the hang of them before you give them to us.
Yes, Jackie, I've got
Well, for the
James.
most part, you'll notice sometimes my legs, my knees would get out of rhythm
Mhm.
when I was clapping. But I like stuff like that. It gets you thinking.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, but you know, I was no longer attached to my legs, so I don't know what they were doing.
Uh-oh. Okay, gang. Gang, we're going to do a little bit of balance. So if you were going to stay seated, here's what you're going to do. I want you to have one foot in front of the other. So stacked, like standing on a straight line. Make sure your back isn't touching the backrest. And then all I want you to do is to look up and then down. And you can have your hands on your hips. Now, if you're going to stand, it's the same thing. Stand heel to toe. If standing heel to toe is a bit too wobbly, then you can just put that foot a little bit apart. The wider it is, the easier it is to balance. If you need that chair close by, then it's right there for you.
I'm a bit such, yeah.
There we
You
go.
actually stopped?
Pardon?
Did you stop?
Goodness me, I stopped for 3 seconds. Unless my brain skipped time, that sometimes happens. So you're just trying to balance, gang. And you can slowly look up. As long as you don't get dizzy, you might feel a little, you might get a little like, oh, that's weird because you're not used to looking up. That's okay, go steady. Good. Now, switch which foot is forward. That's it, gang. Good. So remember, you do have your chair nearby. You can hang on to it if you need. Great job, gang. This is awesome. I'm not even hearing any like, whoa, whoa.
We also, yeah. That's the reason.
That's okay. We'll build it up. We'll continuously make it challenging. You'll notice a change in a couple weeks. You guys are doing awesome. Remember to, I should have said this earlier, but tighten up your bum. Then you're trying to crush a walnut between your bum cheeks.
Got hazelnut.
Hazelnut's even better, smaller. Means you have to squeeze harder. And rest. Awesome. Now, you can do this seated or standing. We're going to bend our knees a little bit. If you're seated, feel free to lift up a knee and hold. Now let's take our hands together. And I want you to move your hands as far back as you can. Make sure your knees are a little bent. Chairs close by. And just turn to however far you feel comfortable. And then slowly come back facing forwards. Slowly turn. Feet are planted. Turning that upper body. And
Wala
back.
pa rin nagtatrabaho dyan sa ano, 1 to 8.
What's that? Great job, team. turning. If you're seated and have one knee in the air, you can switch knees. Awesome job, team. Just turn to where you feel comfortable. Good practice thinking about staying balanced, keeping our core tight as we turn. We don't do enough turning movement. All right. Awesome. Now, I'm going to move my bench. Now, if you are comfortable standing, we're going to walk around your chair. And I want you to do it with your knees slightly bent so that your weight is forwards and you're concentrated on being strong. You got the chair right there. You can walk forwards, sideways. So notice I don't turn. My body stays facing forward the whole time, and backwards. And then sideways, forward. So just go at your own pace. Now, if you're seated, so keep going if you're standing, gang. If you're seated, guys, then what I want you to do is to step your feet to the side. 1, 2, turn, back, 1, 2. And then step your feet to the other side, step, step, turn your shoulders, and then step. Okay, so step, step if you're sitting, turn, face forward, step back. Remember just to be aware, gang, if you're standing, be aware of your stepping, be aware of what your body is doing. Really focus on what you're doing. There we go. Awesome job, team. Doing so great.
Yeah.
There, and rest. Well done. So make sure you're grabbing a sip of water throughout. Now's a great time to do that. Hydration is key. Now, if you are standing, you can, and comfortable standing, you can remain standing. And if you're seated, stay seated, but everyone needs their weight. And if you're not using a weight today, you can just use your hands. That's all good. Now, what I want everyone to do before we start this exercise is I want you to tighten up your belly, right? Like pretend someone's about to slap you in the belly. That belly has to tighten up. Can everyone feel that? You can even feel. You can feel if it's tightened up or not.
I can only feel mine.
Yeah, just feel your own tummy. So focus on keeping that tight, and you're going to take your weight and you're going to move it down to the hip and then up across to your opposite shoulder. Keeping tight the whole time, down to your hip, up to the opposite shoulder. Now, the only thing that's moving, guys, is my arms and the weight. My shoulders don't rotate. My back doesn't move. My hips don't move. I'm so focused on staying tight through my core and moving that weight. Good. If you're standing, it's the same thing. Make sure your knees are slightly bent if you're standing. Hip up to the opposite shoulder. Down to the hip. Up to the opposite shoulder. Down to the hip. Up to the opposite shoulder. Good. And last one. and switch sides. Most of the effort, gang, in this exercise just comes from you tightening through your core. You can even make sounds like "Hurr." Sometimes that helps. Other side. Geez, no one took me up on that one, hey? I gotta say, that one's really popular with my 8-year-old soccer players. You give them an excuse to make a funny sound and they take it.
Ew.
What is that?
Nice work. It helped, didn't you? You felt stronger for that brief second.
Who did that?
Someone having a great time.
Terry, you're guilty with unspoken.
Keep going, gang. Keep that core tight. You're doing wonderful. Remember,
Relax,
no
tighten it
movement.
up too.
Keep that back nice and still as you move that weight.
This is the paddleboard special, I think.
Absolutely. I spent all summer canoeing because I injured my knee. So, and now I have to get even more prepared for next year canoeing. There, and rest. Okay. Now the next one, gang. Depending on your weight, you can either hold one weight with both hands, or to make it harder, you can hold the one weight with one hand. Okay, and if you don't have a weight to use, or it's a bit too much, just use your arm. And all we're gonna do, again, standing or seated, is we're gonna slowly lift up the weight. And if you've got the energy for it today, slowly lift up the opposite knee and then down. So it's to the count of up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. I have to keep my core super tight. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Again, if you're standing, have that hand on your chair and it's up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Do whatever you're comfortable with. We've got 3 more. And if you need to stop earlier, that's okay. Good. And switch. And same thing on this side, guys. It's up.
My arms under here, both arms is sore.
At the underside of your arm?
Yeah,
Okay.
is that from your exercises? Because I wasn't doing anything else.
On Thursday?
Yeah,
Probably.
like it's just.
I don't remember. I'll be honest, I don't remember what we did on Thursday.
About halfway around. I don't either. That's why I'm asking.
It's very possible, Clancy. Were you shoveling at all?
No, I don't shovel.
Good.
That's what I think every time I see the people out there shoveling.
Keep track of your breathing, gang. It is helpful to breathe out as you lift up. You got a nice controlled pace. It looks awesome. And get one more in. And rest. Boy, that was fun.
That was hard work.
It is hard work, absolutely.
is.
Yeah, but you did wonderful.
It
That's the key.
in the 2 arms. And the
What's
strength.
that?
the difference between the two arms
Yes.
strength. I'm left-handed, but I found it easier to work with my right hand.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you find that even though you write left-handed, you still have to use your right hand often throughout a day? Because so
Yeah,
many
I
things
do.
are designed for right-handed people.
Yes.
Gotcha. Because that could be
I
it too.
finally found a left-handed mug.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But even in things like opening a door,
Right. Yeah. No,
right? You
it's-
you have to pull that door towards your right side anyway. So most people reach and pull. And opening a door like that takes a certain amount of strength, doesn't it?
Mhm.
What about your kitchen tap when you reach for the cold tap? Which arm do you use?
I say whatever arm you use
It's
to
always on the
lift
same
your
side.
water glass. That's your stronger arm. Depends how much water you drink in a day.
That's right, yeah, or a coffee or anything that can still, or
That's
spoon
right.
your soup.
Okay, gang, put your weight to the side. Pick up your band. All right, so we've got our band. Now, I want your elbows bent by your sides, and I want your palms facing the ceiling. And again, you're either going to grip it. Now, if you've got any struggles with your hands, especially any arthritis there, you can wrap the band around so that it just pulls against your hand rather than you having to squeeze it to hold it. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, and again, standing or sitting, we're just going to pull the band apart. It shouldn't feel like a strain. Okay, so adjust the band as necessary. Now you're going to pull and step your foot forward and then bring the band back as you step back. So it's pull and step forward, bring your hands together and step back. And again, do that same thing standing. I can step and pull, step back, bring it together, step and pull. So this one, we want to keep our elbows closer to our side, guys. And our palms face up to the ceiling. We're just pulling that band apart. Should feel this between your shoulder blades or at the back of your shoulder. So much fun. There we go.
Oh.
Good, just do what you can, rest when you need to. And rest. Good. Now, we just completed 3 strength exercises. And I should have told you ahead of time so you could remember them. But I remember them. We're going to come back to them. But for now, put your weight to the side.
Wait, what was the band?
Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of cardio.
Does this mean I'm now a Mighty Mouse?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oops, I just turned my watch off. Ah, wrong button. Okay, so gang, your goal, oh, come on, watch, there we go. Your goal is to keep moving. You can be standing or sitting, completely up to you, whatever feels best. And the goal is to move. I will tell you the halfway point. So you know if you're getting puffed at the halfway point, you can stop and rest and you get a longer rest time. Okay, but we're gonna work for a little bit and then rest for a little bit. And I'll keep showing you the different exercises as we go.
How long
So
are you going for?
A minute.
Okay.
Yep, a minute, but I will again tell you the halfway mark. Okay, so our first exercise we're just going to be stepping our feet out, out, in, out, out, in. Okay? And again, if you're doing it standing, out, in, out, in. If you want that extra balance, you can hold on to your chair. All right, gang, I'll tell you the halfway point and go. So remember, the goal is just to keep moving. It's great and okay if your breathing has to increase a little bit. That means we're working those lungs, but you don't want to get to the point where you're gasping for air or feel like you can't catch your breath. That's definitely the point where you need to stop and breathe. That's halfway. Either standing or sitting, out, in, out, in. Go at your own pace. All right, gang, we got a couple more seconds left. And rest. Now, if you just finished that whole minute of cardio and you feel like you just went for a bit of a walk, you don't feel like your breathing increased or your heart rate increased at all, then that's your sign you can push a little harder. If you feel completely out of breath, that means you push too hard. Okay? Next exercise, you're going to lift up your arms as you step a foot out to the side. Note, I'm just tapping my foot. I'm not stepping. So it's tap the foot, lift the arms. You can lift just one arm at a time. Do the same thing seated. Ready, go. So you can do the same thing seated, either both arms or one at a time, based on your oxygen today. How's your breathing? How's your energy? There we go, gang. Remember, the goal here is to get your breathing a little bit faster, to get you to work a little bit hard. We're halfway. Do what you can. There we go, gang. And rest. Good. Is everyone finding a good pace for them?
Yeah.
I'm tired.
A bit tired. Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Feeling that little bit of tiredness is an okay sign.
But my O2 level's still at 90, so.
Good.
That's
So it
good.
hasn't dropped from your baseline. Yeah, that's a great sign. That's why oximeters are such a great tool to use, right? All right, gang, your next exercise is marching. So lifting up one knee, get your arms moving at the same time, standing or sitting, ready. And if you're good to go, let's start. Again, I'll tell you the halfway mark. If you need a longer rest, sitting or standing, do what you can. You got to be in charge of your own intensity. We're halfway. Great job, gang. You got about 10 seconds left. Keep maintaining your breathing. There, and rest. Good, good. So it should have felt like hard work.
Was, yeah. was.
Good. And that's the balance. That's awesome. Okay. If it felt like hard work and you're going, oh, thank goodness we're done for a couple seconds, that's a good thing. As long as you aren't gasping for air.
Okay.
Okay. And if you've got your oxygen monitor, just have a check. If it's still showing it's good, then you're doing awesome. Keep pushing. Okay, gang. The next one, you're either going to swim, and I'm going to give two options. You're either going to swim your arm forward, and you can kind of rotate your back, standing or sitting. Now, if you've got any shoulder issues, then I just want you to rotate your hands over top of one another, just like you're about to do the disco. Feel free to add that in. 3, 2, and we're starting. So again, you're doing the standing or seated. Whew. Great job, gang. Doing awesome. Halfway. Remember, it should feel like hard work without getting out of breath. Focus on that breathing. Even as your breathing increases, focus on it. Keep it controlled. You got this. Almost there. Last couple seconds. Just do what you can and rest. Well done, gang. That's hard work to do. And you are doing wonderful. Now, this next one, if you're seated, have your feet a little bit ahead of you, and you're just going to pull your heels back. So we're not lifting up a knee, we're pulling our heel back towards your chair. If you were going to stand, feel free to have one hand or both on your chair where we're pulling our heels up. Almost like you're going to kick yourself in the bum, but don't push it. Make sure this muscle at the back of your thigh, your hamstring, make sure it doesn't cramp. So even if you're keeping it little. Okay. Ready, team? And go. Whether you're seated or standing, we're kicking our heels back. Focus on that breathing. Keep that core tight. Forgot about that core, didn't you? Let it get a little bit loose. We got to tighten it right back up. That's halfway, gang. Keep up your breathing. Just do what you can. You should be able to say a couple words, but probably not a full sentence.
Couple of words,
Couple words.
couple of words.
Atta girl. And rest. Guys, you are doing so great. So great. Now, we're going to do one more. I know. You are either going to do your sit to stands, preferably without using your hands. And this one is not fast. You go at your own pace, either standing up and sitting back down. Feel free to have table or a wall nearby to help you with your balance. If you are going to stay seated, then again, don't put your hands on your hips. And I just want you kicking one leg at a time. Good? Ready and go. Make sure you try to breathe out as you stand. Then it's down nice and slow and controlled. No plopping.
I just
And
watched.
I know some of you did. I can see it. Down nice and controlled. Now, think about tightening your core as you stand. Use those core muscles to help you.
I did that one time.
Halfway. You tried tightening your core to stand? There we go. There we go, gang. Awesome, and rest. You guys are amazing.
We are.
Hope you know that.
You're just a good instructor.
Oh, that's very sweet. I love it, but I must warn you, flattery won't get the exercises easier.
Like I said, you're just a good instructor.
Thank you, thank you. Was that Ron who said that?
Rick.
Oh, Rick, there we go. The screens are just small enough that I can't see the names. Thank you, Rick. Okay, gang. You might not remember them at this point because you were just focused on breathing in your core, but we're gonna repeat the 3 strength exercises we did. So it's good for your brains to have to kind of think back.
Yeah.
I know. So standing or seated, we're tightening up that core super tight. You're taking the weight down to the hip, up to the opposite shoulder. Now, if you're feeling good enough that sitting feels a bit too easy, but you're not comfortable standing, lift up a knee and hold it there. There's a good in between for you.
Oh,
Or maybe not a good in between. Oh boy. Yeah, keep that core tight. This is purely a selfish exercise for me to work on my paddling. This isn't about you at all.
No, it's all about Jill.
That's right.
yeah, no, yeah, I'll be asking to collect my ride next summer in your canoe. And I will.
Oh, boy.
You will be.
Boy, I better start using a heavier weight. I'm gonna have to paddle someone else in the canoe and switch sides.
You might end up taking quite a few people just from this class.
So, okay, I'll get you all to have a floaty, and we'll just tie up all the floaties to a rope. I'll pull you behind. It's funny, my mentor and colleague, when her kids were young, they're in their 20s now, but when they were little and she was training for triathlons, she had this harness that she tied to a boat, to their small dinghy or a canoe or something. And so her little kids would just sit in the boat and go, "Faster, mommy, faster!" And she's swimming in the lake. Same with when she was running and pushing them in the stroller, and they're going, "Faster, mommy, faster!" And rest. I said, that's why I only run with dogs. They're just happy that you're running.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gang. So again, that weight, we're gonna be lifting it overhead if you can. Remember, the higher range, the more oxygen your body will need. You can either do 2 hands, or to make it a little bit heavier, a little bit harder, just the 1 hand. You can lift up, and you can lift up your opposite knee, which means you really have to tighten your core, and down. So it's up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. It's helpful to breathe out. Down, 2, 3. Out as you lift. Up, 2, 3. Down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3. Down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3. Just do what you can. Down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3. Down, 2, 3. One more if you can. Up, 2, 3. Down, 2, 3. Okay, switch before anyone's arm falls off.
Oh,
Might feel close to it. And switch. Up, 2, 3. Down, 2, 3. 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 Up, 2, 3. Down, 2, 3.
One more.
Really?
Yep, 10.
Somebody's
We only
counting.
we only did 10 on the other side. I was aiming for 12.
Well, you did 12, but I did 10.
Oh boy.
'Cause
You
when-
counted the other side too?
Yeah, and I noticed that as we approach 9, at 9, you'll say just 3 more.
Right,
Yes.
right. That's the goal.
So you're a really good counter, but you use it to different ends.
The trick is if I don't tell you a specific number, I can sometimes trick you into doing more.
Yeah, you have, and that's when my arms fell off.
Okay, gang, put your weight to the side.
The best one is when you stop and talk for a little while and then carry on right after from 5 to 6 type thing. So then you get like 4 more or 5 more in there.
I think that's actually a superpower of mine. Yeah. Yeah. Time is just like a little wormhole. It just, without time freezes in that small moment. All right, gang, palms facing up to the ceiling, elbows tight to your body. And we're just going to pull the band apart and then bring your hands back together. And again, you can step out as you pull and then step back in. You can step out as you pull and then step back in. Pull out as you step, bring them back in as you step in. Keep that core tight and maintain your breathing. Awesome job, gang. Clancy, are you counting for this one?
Yep, that's 8.
12 if you can. 3, 2, 1. Nice work, gang. Put that band to the side. All right, it's time to cool down and do some stretching. Wow, there wasn't even any cheering. Should we do more exercise?
Yay!
Bravo.
There we go. Okay, we'll
Oh,
stretch.
thank goodness. I never thought I'd get here.
You got here. Hooray.
Yes, success.
Okay, team. So before we stretch though, let's get a couple of our rounds of our recovery breathing, which remember is about a 3 to 5 second inhale and then an exhale through pursed lips for 4 to 6 seconds, whatever you can manage. And it's like, so you can either open up your hands as you inhale and close as you exhale, or just slowly lift up your arms on your inhale. And then slowly bring the arms down on the exhale. Okay, so deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, pause, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just do what you can. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just breathe normally. So you can lift up one arm. You can push the elbow up and back. Actually, I'm going to get closer now that we're no longer exercising. So you can push this elbow up. If you want to wrap your hand around for a deeper stretch, you're welcome to it. As long as you're not forcing your head forward. Keep up your breathing pattern. So that recovery breathing, gang, is both a good lung exercise, but it's also a great way to lower your heart rate, lower your blood pressure, and regain control of your breathing. Switch arms. Remember, you can just push, or you can wrap it around.
Ouch. I think this is the one that did it. Oh.
That's a nice stretch, hey?
I think that's what hurt my arm.
It's a little bit sore, Clancy.
Yeah. I don't know why, because I didn't grow muscle, but I grew some
Rest.
fat there.
Stick a leg out in front of you guys.
And then the fat goes away, but your body doesn't go back to previous.
Leg straight in front of you.
So I didn't think that there was anything there that could hurt.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, that stretch should feel okay.
No, that's where I noticed it right away.
Got 5.
I noticed that they're doing the stretch. Jill, right in here is where I said, ow.
Gotcha.
I think I just seldom use
Switch
that part.
legs. Okay.
Seldom use that part of the body. Until you came along.
Well, if the muscle is sore, and sometimes it does feel quite sore to stretch it.
With doing this one here, do anything? Because there we're working the back muscle, aren't we? Of our
Doing
arm.
what, Clancy?
Doing this, we're working the back muscle of our arm.
Yep, and you're working between your shoulder blades. And we do one where we straighten our arm behind our body.
Yeah.
That would have worked that muscle too.
Yeah.
Okay, gang, just put your leg out to the side. So we're getting a little bit of a stretch on that inner leg, and you can even lean forward slightly. Can everyone feel that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
There we go. We worked all types of muscles today, team. And switch legs. There we go. So as we're stretching, gang, how did your exercises go today?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good,
Excellent.
Pretty good.
There we go.
good, very good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying them very much. Thanks.
It was
Good.
very fast. It went by fast today.
It did go by fast, which is
Uh,
always a good sign that
It
it's
was
not
good.
dragging on. And did everyone feel like they managed to find that balance or almost find the balance between working hard and pushing yourself a little bit, but you're not exhausted right now? You feel good, you feel energized, and you feel like you worked hard?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
excellent. It was just
Good, yeah.
excellent.
Because you shouldn't feel wiped out when you're done. It's okay to feel a bit tired, but you don't want to
Yeah, I'm a
feel
little tired
exhausted.
today.
Yeah, and that can be normal, right? So there's just going to be those ups and downs in your days. Turn to the side, gang. Bring this leg back, and I just see there's a message. Let's check the message. Oh, thank you, Roberta. You too.
Thanks.
There you go. You should feel that at the front of your hip, team.
Uh-huh.
I'm not doing that one, sorry, I didn't see.
Oh boy, switch sides. That's okay, Doris. You've got muscles. They're working hard. It's sometimes tough to feel those core muscles, isn't it, team? Yeah, and a lot of that is just we don't really practice focusing on tightening them up. Like we know how to tighten up our fist. We do that all the time, right? And we learn how to tighten up our bicep, which is that upper arm muscle. Because ever since we're a kid, we've been told to, make a muscle or to pose. But our core, our glutes, what
Yeah.
the heck?
Yeah.
Those are a lot harder.
True.
All right, gang. Now what we're gonna do, if you feel comfortable linking your fingers together and pulling your hands away, do that. If that's sore in your hand, feel free just to hold kind of halfway down your fingers and gently pull your wrist back. And then all we're gonna do is take a deep breath in. You can lift up your arms if you would like to. And then just slowly breathe it out. And then again, if you want to link your fingers together and flip your hands away, hold, you can. If that's too sore, just pull your hand down and gently pull back. And then you can slowly lift up as you breathe in. And then slowly breathe out. Good, roll those shoulders back. There we go, team. Awesome, awesome job today.